tell you that story about being pulled over by the Toledo DOT for being overweight?
No.
Here's a good story for you. When I was driving for FedEx Logistics, it was actually my last driving job back in 2002.
Okay. All right.
So I would make the same run every day. I was hauling auto parts for the Liberty Jeep plant in Toledo.
Okay.
And I would basically start off there in Macedonia, which is where my truck was parked. And then I would make my way over to like Warren, Ohio, and then Hubbard, Ohio. And then I'd go over to Greenville, Pennsylvania, and up to Corey, Pennsylvania, and then to Conneaut. And then I'd run all the way to Toledo, drop off the trailer, pick up an empty, and go back home and do it all again the next day.
Right.
So when I was going to Toledo every day, there was the exit that I had to get off. It was called Alexis Road.
Okay.
And every day when I would get up there, there would be trucks just lined up on that off ramp, and it would take 15 or 20 minutes just to get up to the to the traffic light to finally make the turn.
Right.
So I decided I would get off the exit before that road and then take the surface street, because it was a street that ran parallel to the freeway.
Okay.
Took me down to that road, and then I could make a left-hand turn and just go past that exit and go to the warehouse I was going to.
Right.
Well, the exit that I was getting off, they had a sign there. It said, I can't remember the name of the road, Baumgartner Road or something like that. It says, no trucks on Baumgartner Road over 10,000 pounds, right?
Okay.
Well, I would get off the exit, but then I would take a left onto a different road. If I went straight, that'd be Baumgartner Road. But if I turned left, it was on another road. I can't remember the name of the street.
Right.
So I get off that exit, turn left, go down parallel to the freeway, then turn left, and then go down to the warehouse, so I'd avoid that light and that traffic and all that other stuff.
Sure.
So I was doing this, and I turned that corner one day, and there was a local Toledo DOT officer set up there. Okay. And he flagged me down, and he says, what are you doing on this road? I said, well, I'm going over to that warehouse. Like you said, you could see the warehouse where you're at. And he says, well, you're not allowed on this road. I said, why am I not allowed on this road? He says, because there's a weight restriction. He said, you should have saw the sign when you got off the freeway. And I told him, I said, well, the sign says no trucks over 10,000 on Baumgartner Road. This is not Baumgartner Road. Well, it means at that exit. I said, that's not what it says on the sign.
Right.
And he goes, well, he had portable scales out there. And he made me pull up on the portable scales, and he gave me a ticket for $1,600. Because he said that the road was only 10,000 pounds or something like that, or 10 tons or something like that. I can't remember.
And you're in the middle of BFE, so you can't really fight it.
Yeah, well, but I did, and so then after he gives me the ticket, get this. He comes over to me and he says, he gives me his personal card, right? His business card. Yeah. And he says, give me a call at this number. We'll discuss this.
Oh, you shitting me.
That's what he said.
He wanted to fucking take $500 in his own pocket to tear up the ticket.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I said to him, I won't be making any phone calls to you. I will see you in court.
Right.
And so my court date was set like 3-4 weeks later. So I went to court. Court started at 8. The first session of court started at 8 and went to noon. The judge didn't call my case until 5 minutes or like 10 minutes to noon. So I had to sit there through 3 hours and 45 minutes or something like that.
Just wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah. But the DOT officer did show up. And so I went up, and all I had to do was, do you plead guilty, not guilty? I pleaded not guilty, and they set the court date. So I basically had to sit there for 3 hours and 45 minutes just to plead not guilty.
Jesus Christ.
So after I pleaded not guilty and court was adjourned, I was leaving the building. So that DOT officer got in the elevator with me.
Right.
And he said, I thought I told you to call me about this. And I said, dude, I know exactly what you're up to. I have no intention of getting caught up in your scandal or your scam. I said, I'll see you at the court date.
Right.
So my court date, again, was like a couple weeks later. So what I did, because I was making that trip to Toledo every day, I took my camera with me.
Right.
I took a picture of the sign at the off-ramp, and I took a picture of the signs on the roads, and I took a picture of the situation, and I got a Google map, and I mapped it all out. I was preparing my court case, right? I was just like, there's no fucking way I could lose this, right?
Right.
So I had photograph evidence, I had Google map evidence, I had the law that said that, you know, if you're making a delivery within the same area, that you're allowed to be on the surface streets, and everything I could think of.
Right.
So my court date comes, I go to court.
Mm-hmm.
The judge, it was a female judge. I remember her name. Her name was Judge Amy.
Okay.
She calls me up and she says, Mr. Neeley, she says, I see that you're not being represented by anyone here today. And I said, well, that's okay, Judge. I'm representing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, you know, in light of the fact that this is a legal case, blah, 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 and you're clearly not a lawyer,
mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend that you would seek legal counsel.
Yeah, no.
And I said, well, I'm prepared, Judge, to state my case. And she says, well, in light of everything, I'm not going to allow you to do that.
What?
That's what she said. I'm not going to allow you to do that.
Can they do that?
Well, I don't know.